Welcome to Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. Welcome to the Day Weather Podcast. Thanks for watching and listening. Well, we're going to get a visit today from the Great White North, and really the next 2 or 3 days. Cool and wet weather is slowly moving in. Some of you listening and watching this podcast are already cool and wet. Some of you will be thinking, well, where's the cold front? Because we've got another hot day along and east of the Continental Divide. This will be especially true in eastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, and eastern Colorado. However, the dividing line is the divide, the Continental Divide. West of the divide is where most of the weather will be today, but all areas will cool off Thursday and Friday, and that'll be the best chance for the most widespread rain and thunderstorm activity. Heavy precipitation is going to fall in many areas that really need it, like western and northern Wyoming, Montana, parts of Idaho, the Wasatch of Utah, western areas of Colorado. Wish I could tell you that it was going to rain a lot in Washington, Oregon, and into Northern California, where those wildfires are the biggest, but unfortunately the system missing it. Some snow will fall Thursday night in some mountain areas. In particular, the Wind River Mountains of Wyoming, the high mountains of Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks, the Bighorn Mountains, and even the Uintas of Utah could see some snow out of this as we get on into Thursday night and Friday morning. Now, I did mention the Great White North, so I got to throw in these guys. Some of you know exactly who these guys are. Some of you probably don't. If you don't, Google Bob and Doug McKenzie. But anytime we get a visit from Canada, like we're getting right now, I tend to think of those guys. Now, let's take a look at the satellite imagery. You can really see the focal point of the cloudiness across the southwest areas of Canada, then through the Intermountain West here. This is this broad area of low pressure that's swinging in right now. It's centered right there in Idaho. And see all the blue here? This is what we would call enhanced cloud tops. Tops of clouds that are getting cold. The higher the clouds build, the more cold they get, the better the opportunity for rain. We saw some really good rain last night in that area right there in Utah along the Wasatch, along I-15. And we're going to see this system slowly move over the next 48 hours. It's not a quick mover. So there'll be areas underneath thick clouds and occasional, not continuous, but occasional rain and thunderstorms. Here it is. As of noon today, this is where the low is going to be in western Idaho. We got that big high pressure helping to form it. So it's going to kind of crawl along because it's going to hit this ridge in the eastern United States and just slowly move on through. This is what temperatures relative to average look like by Friday. Anywhere you see blue, green, or purple, temperatures are below average. So even by Friday, the cool air gets to the Palmer Divide in eastern Colorado, but southeast Colorado going to be sheltered from the cooler air. But boy, you get up into Montana, the Dakotas, northern and central Wyoming, that's where the real cool is. But even the coolness is spilling down into the Great Basin. So for the middle of August, this is a pretty impressive system. Look at the rainfall totals through Saturday. This is through Saturday. This doesn't include anything after Saturday. But look at Utah. Look at northwestern Wyoming. Look at parts of Montana and Idaho, the western slope of Colorado. Notice there's a bit of a wedge here where there won't be as much rain, and then there won't be. The better instability is going to be favoring the western areas. So this area right here has really been snake bit over the last several weeks and continues to be snake bit, but elsewhere, there's going to be really good precipitation, even more rain for Arizona in this pattern. But this is just really good to see, especially this area right here that really needs it is going to be the big winner from the storm system. Let's take a look at the latest soil moisture map, and you can see the areas of very dry conditions across the northern plains and central Rockies here. But this is where, especially right here, is where the best rain is going to be in some of those really dry areas out of the storm system. Big improvements have taken place in the desert Southwest over the last 2 months. Soil moisture conditions there have actually gone to the positive side. So it hasn't been all bad news, but boy, I tell you, those northern plains, northern Rockies, really dry, but this storm is going to help. Here is that snow graphic showing the potential for snow. Most of this is overnight Thursday into Friday morning. Anywhere you see gray, this is where rain and snow will fall probably above 10,000 feet, even into the central mountains of Colorado, the Uintas and Wasatch of Utah, and some of the mountains of Idaho and Montana. But the better concentration is going to be right here. So we're talking about the southern end of Yellowstone Park, Togety Pass. You know, you get between Lander and Riverton and South Pass, and then between Du Bois and Jackson. That's where I think we'll likely see some snow falling on those highway webcams. That'll be something interesting to watch Thursday night into Friday morning. As we go forward, this is for Friday. We have the low here. We've got another low behind it. And what's going to happen is we have 2 or 3 more fronts that will keep temperatures very moderate. Even though temperatures are going to rebound a little bit over the weekend into Monday and Tuesday, nothing really hot's coming our way. Now, by next weekend, the weekend of the 28th, we do see high pressure rebuilding, so there will be a return of some summer weather conditions, but the jet stream is more south, more active. So yes, we still have some hot summer days coming, but there won't be many days in a row. It'll be hot for a day or two, then it will cool off as we get to the end of August and early September. If we were to look at the 10-day average precipitation, you can see the average precipitation combined with temperature is going to lead to coolness. So this is the next 10 days averaged together, and you can see cooler than average temperatures across the northern Rockies and southern areas of Canada. Over the next 10 days, this is a big departure from where we've been all summer, with really the warmth going into the central and eastern areas of the United States. Have yourself a great Wednesday, everybody. Be ready for the changing weather. We'll talk to you tomorrow.